Hello and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Last time we went around the system and we couldn't find the Gene Stealer cult at that one planet, sadly, so I wasted my time. But I made my way back to Dargonis and we got a meeting with the Adeptus Arbites, general guy. And he told us to go to this one planet that is not doing its tithes. So we're on our way there. And then also along the way to that planet, we came across... Where would I find that? Woodship and management? Yeah, there was that thing that came up where what's his name? The Adeptus Arbites we have on our ship. I'm terrible with his name right now. Solomorn, that's his name. He found that one of our crew was a wanted criminal that was sent on our ship during the whole we're gonna resupply you with people from that one guy from the beginning, from the planet that got turned into a demon planet and all that. And he was like, oh, I'll work for you if you just forget about this and all that. So I was like, I don't see too much against it, so I got this ability. So repairing costs less scrap. So yeah. Thankfully, we don't gotta worry about that anymore, I hope. And then also we had, on Dargonis, we had this pop-up. I forget what it was. Yeah, and no, it wasn't that. It was the poison water. Basically, we decided to be like, there's a bunch of people that we could go help. And, we were like, okay, well, no, it was a crashed ship. I'm sorry, I'm still a little sick. I'm trying to think straight. I just woke up too. A ship with cargo landed on our planet, and we decided to let it not be looted, and for that we got some goodwill with the Imperial Navy. Not enough to get to the next level though. And we also got some profit factor. So now, I did notice before logging off that Voxmaster has new stuff to say. Not long ago I took part in a celebration in Jay's honor. Would your lordship care to learn the circumstances of your return to the ship? I can assure you that the landing deck was damaged minimally. Mistress Haydari escorted you to your quarters, rather boldly touching the person of the rogue trader. In response to the crew's attempts to help you, they endeavored to demonstrate your proficiency in several Efreet swear words that, according to you, Mistress Haydari had taught you earlier. Regarding the incidents that took place on Footfall, Liege Takara has already let us know that the persons affected have no claims against you, and thank your lordship for the honor of witnessing how the rogue trader and his charming paramour amuse themselves. Great. Okay. Any rumors? No.
Master Anthar is enveloped in dense gold, but like the sun on an ice world, its radiance offers no warmth, only the steely sheen of immovability. Sometimes I see flashes of another color. It is as if the metal carapace were only a screen, but deep down inside, scarlet fire rages.
Sure.
I have enjoyed your company.
Nothing new. I'm just checking to see if anything updated with these guys. Nothing new. Okay.
Lord Captain. Lord...
You are spoiling me with the splendor of your presence again, Shireen. Have you decided to treat your soul to the fruits of my eloquence? Or do you wish to discuss business with the newly appointed owner of a Mercatum Tabula Officiale?
It seems like you and Trickster Court were close. Jamie lost his head.
My gang is quite the void beast, Shireen, with 3 heads stemming from a single neck. Kor's untimely demise will not interfere with our mutual business. I do feel sorry for his twin, though. Cora has been getting into trouble with her brother since they were kids. Getting out of trouble too, but not this time. But why are we talking about the departed, Shireen? We must save a few good words for the living. Take Falco, for example. I will impale that ashmag on a stake, Shireen. You will see. I will pick a slim one, so he has more time to appreciate it. Oh, I have no doubt you will.
So she doesn't care, really. Well, that's great. You're good? Okay. I'm just double checking in case new things popped up that I'm not aware of.
Take heed, Nemo. Help.
Hello, Talk.
Nope. Okay. I'd probably just have to advance the story along
Lord
at
Captain.
some point.
Lord...
So, okay, let's do it. Okay, now we gotta go here. Now Falstone has something. The Medicaid teams from the lower decks reported the dense fog that causes people with deformities short tentacles roughly the length of a pinky finger. Since they don't interfere with performance, the Medicaid are not certain whether this phenomenon should be a cause for concern, but the riffraff are already whispering of heresy. Yeah, surgically remove them again. That sucks. Okay. Lord Captain, we have received a voxcast from Thassera. The signal quality is rather poor, but the meaning is clear. The world is expecting your lordship's arrival. Grand festivities have been arranged, and the delegation led by the planetary governor is ready to give you a welcome worthy of an honored guest. Sure. Here we go. Well, this is kind of cool. Celestial guests, there is no higher honor for us than to extend our hospitality to such noble eminences. His Celestial Highness, the Rogue Trader, and an illustrious judicator of the Imperium, all of Thassera clamors, trembles, and cheers. Rudolo, the fair-faced governor of Thassera, at your service. I thank you for the courteous welcome, Governor. However, we come here to address a grave concern. But of course, Your Celestial Highness, it would be my pleasure to discuss whatever topic you have in mind. That said, you have had such long and perilous journey behind you. Like any self-respecting host, I must first propose... Hello? Yeah, I had a feeling you were a jester. My name is Bluff. I am Lord Rildo's good mood. I tickle his governorship with well-spouted jests and itty-bitty gossip. And now I merrily doff my cap to our celestial lords and ladies and hand them this key to Thassera as a token of our boundless loyalty. Thank you, Bluff. I don't know if I trust him or not. Being the paragon of grace that he is, would my celestial lord perhaps also deign to feast his ears on the latest gossip to go with my gift? 1 second. Alright. Being the paragon of grace that he is, would my celestial lord... yeah, sorry. I just came back, I was trying to blow my nose and get rid of everything. Look at the governor. The governor's clumsy attempts to stay in the saddle and his utter lack of noble bearing are bewildering to you. It appears that the upbringing of the Thasserian aristocracy is as unimpressive as this world's technological state. What happened to your face? This is a fine tradition that I myself brought to this world. You see, there is a way to tame the merciless passage of time. All you need is to find a young and healthy face, appropriate it, and attach it over your own fading skin. The local nobility eagerly took to this art of extending one's life and youth, and I, once a celestial lord myself, now promote this custom by personal example so I may showcase its wonderful properties. That's no. You put on other people's skin out of desire to look younger, you'll declare this vile practice banned today. Oh, yes, of course, this very day. What's the gossip? Well, slap my grox. Fine then. Listen to this. One-eyed terror of the common man went out a thieving one day. He sneaks into a hut, itching to fill up his stack, and what sees he? A scary big shadow on the floor. He turns around, and right behind him, a giant, a monster with hands like imperial columns. It grabs him by the throat and starts beating the air out of him like he's a ball of dough. Turns out he's popped by Murgith's place. and she used to work the bone mill no worse than 10 men could when she was young. The fellow's been one eye ever since, and who is he glad he's not one arm or one leg? Okay. What kind of an address is that? That is what we would call the highborn who come down to us in their wondrous vessels, of course. I'm not native to Thassera, and thus was once a celestial lord myself. I have grown used to the local customs, however, and so I address you like any Thassaran would. Roldo, I'm sure you know why we're here. I do have certain suppositions. Enough. According to data protocols Calixus Sigma, this Mu class planet type feudal Astamar rating. What's that? A planet's Astamar rating reflects its strategic value to the Imperium and has the form of an alphanumeric code that ranges from A0 to Z1000. Says low range, with an assigned tithe grade of Salutio Extremis. Planets are graded from Eptis None, meaning no tithe, to Extaxis Extremis, the harshest of tax burdens. So it's kind of high rating. Has not been provided its due tithe amount in full. You have violated the Lex and are hereby under investigation. You are to present all related customs reports and shipping manifests immediately. I am most flattered by your attention, esteemed Judicator, and by this opportunity to serve the Imperium with even greater dedication than before. Speaking of dedication, we are already conducting a thorough inspection to see which scribe it was that bungled the tithe calculation. Fear not, the scoundrel shall soon be. Excuses are the hallmark of guilty. Do not make your situation worse, Governor. Of course, Master Judicator. I will provide you with all the documents as soon as our internal review is complete. I assure you it won't take long, and the report itself will be exhaustive. I believe there was something else the esteemed governor wished to say. Thank you. We know your journey here must have been an arduous one. As a sign of our appreciation, we have prepared a veritable constellation of enjoyments in your honor. We humbly invite you to taste of our amasek, along with our finest dishes, and may you likewise savor some of the local entertainment. One of the court ladies will accompany you so as to not let a single word or wish of yours linger without attention. Wow. Maeve, my celestial lord, at your service. Based on my experience, I would say we have been assigned a spy under a pretense of generosity. But this is a good thing. We will use this young late woman as our source of information about the world. For now, it would be wise to play along and question her thoroughly once we are away from prying ears. Your face is your own. Why is that? Such living masks are the privilege of the high nobility. I may not be a commoner, but to be entitled to a change of face, that is something I have yet to earn. Look at this one. She has barely risen from the bottom and already she shoots for the privileges at the top. Greedy hands are wont to get chopped off. Relax, just pretend you are giving a good friend a tour of the place. I'm afraid that is easier said than done. It would be like trying to imagine a mighty sun as a tiny ember, but I'll do my best not to anger you by acting too nervous. Tell me more about the entertainment. Tadua the Scorched is hosting a public trial for a few guilty wretches today. I also overheard that the Council of Thassera nobility was preparing a special gift for you. Besides those, our mechanical orchestra, the only one on Thassera, will be playing all evening, and of course you will also get to see the crowning jewel of Lord Rudolo's collection, his maimed, metal-harnessed beasts. Cool. Little beasties like to play. People are their favorite prey. Champ and chomp, and munch and crunch. Look, it snapped your head away. Screams and tears and gore and more. Happy beastie, happy day. Fascinating. How did you manage to acquire something like that? Though at most only once in a generation, even Thassera receives visits from time to time, Your Celestial Highness. One day, an entire delegation from a foreign world arrived with these mechanical musicians in tow. We were immediately smitten with them. Sadly, our performers have now fallen into a sorry state. Thassera's humid air makes their preservation difficult. You see, and we don't have a single crimson-clad holy man or woman left. I see. All we can do now is offer up prayers of our own, burn oils, and do everything the old writings say, even though we have no hope of understanding them. They won't last much longer. I'm registering heretical sacrilege born from the stupidity of self-entitled laity. The commandment, allow not a false prophet to touch upon the mysteries of the Omnissiah, has been violated. The commandment, offend not the Omnissiah by neglect or negligent misservice, has been trampled. What scoundrel was it that thought to burn sacred unguents instead of incense? Very well. I'd like to see what it has to offer. I'm not gonna say give it to me. That seems wrong. It probably is an item that would be kind of cool, but I'm not gonna take her thing. I can tell by what I'm hearing that our executioner has already lit up the Morpheus, ready to give the condemned a warm welcome. Which means the governor's official whisper collector, that's me, has a whole lot of important business to get to, and so I must leave you now. Good sirs and ladies, lest I miss out on a hot batch of juicy tales. Terribly pleased to meet you all, honored judicator. Feudal worlds are rarely known for their bureaucratic precision. Reconnaissance on the ground will tell us more than any report hastily scrolled down by these blockheads. I suggest we attend this trial and see how the laws of this planet are enforced. Can't wait to meet some kindred spirits. Just professional intuition, shall we go? Never harm them again without permission again, Solmorn. As you wish, however, I should warn you that sudden handshakes like that are considered tantamount to assaulting an arbitrator on duty. There are contact poisons out there that can kill you in a couple of heartbeats. Be on your guard, Rogue Trader. Festivals like these are ideal settings for assassinations. I know that, yeah. Let's go. It's not a question of preference, but of what might help the investigation. The execution will gather a crowd, and we, in turn, will gather information. That'll prove useful, considering how eager everyone was to make their exit. So, your coming is a historic event for these people. They will be watching your every step, and your actions may well transform their lives on this underdeveloped world. So I'm gonna try to do it so they don't end up being murderers and stuff, hopefully. Hey, Maeve.
Victory awaits.
You can talk. They say you are the God Emperor's anointed. Have you truly seen him? No, our God Emperor resides on Holy Terra, many light centuries from here. To behold him is a privilege denied to all but a few. I wish I could see him, but I am sure his splendor is so dazzlingly bright that one glance upon his visage is enough to blind a person on the spot. Oh, pardon me. You probably wanted to ask me something, didn't you? How do you find living at the governor's court? I dare not complain. Lesser nobles such as myself sometimes receive punishment for angering our lords. But that is good, in a way. I think it makes me cleaner and brighter on the inside, and it helps me to better serve the God Emperor, the holder of the key to all destinies. You called the Emperor the holder of the key to all destinies. Why? Forgive me if I've said something wrong. Preacher Antiochus said that the God Emperor holds the key to all destinies in his celestial hand. He himself sits at the very top of the great tower of humankind, from there gazing out over the worlds and stars of his domain. He sees all, knows all, and a bloody tear runs down his cheek when he reads our shameful thoughts and deeds in the annals of our lives. But those who strive, who do not let the seed of evil into their hearts, he will reward with a new destiny, a new life, higher and better than the one before. With a turn of his key, he unlocks the dungeon of their souls. I live and hope that one day he will come to my door. How fascinating. And what are you going to do to get a better destiny? I can hope. Pray earnestly, try to be virtuous and diligent, and if I manage to please the Celestial Lord, then maybe, just maybe, the Emperor will take notice. Why did the God Emperor lock people in a dungeon? In the time of darkness, the God Emperor walled up the Tower of Humankind against fiends and monsters to keep it safe from evil. But evil had already planted its seeds in thousands upon thousands of human souls. He locked them in the dungeon of the tower, so that they may first eradicate the evil in their thoughts. All our lives we atone for our transgressions against the God Emperor, and after death we return to his judgment. But that is our burden to bear, my lord. When I see you and realize that before me stands his anointed, one blessed by his godly hand, there's none happier than I. What do you think of the governor? He is a wonderful person. So considerate and generous, but of course his venerable age has taken its toll. He behaves oddly from time to time, but we all have our quirks, don't we? How? Well, he gave me a lovely Thassera necklace just before you arrived. Strange, is it not, to bestow such a treasure on someone of the lower nobility? And I also noticed that we have been conversing more of late, and it's been easier sometimes. I think he knows me better than I know myself. So the governor has never favored you like this before. Perhaps the appointment to escort the rogue trader also came as a surprise? That is so, my Lord Judicator. I still wonder why the God Emperor saw fit to bestow such a tremendous honor upon me. Tell me about Bluff the Fool. How did he win the governor's favor? He is the best among the court servants. He always knew how to make the noble lords laugh. But at first, Dane's jokes weren't just funny pranks and puns. Those were wonderful, almost impossible times. Something happened and Dane changed, did he not? That is his name, yes? Yes, he seemed to retreat into himself all of a sudden, and he started snapping back at people, saying sarcastic, scathing things. His jokes were simple before, but now there's always a nasty bite to them. And he started exploding at every little thing and ordering me about. My own brother. Apologies for my lack of restraint. So your brother is not his usual self. This world is a tangled web indeed. That's your brother? I was about to say, I think that what's his name? The jester is, I think he might be a demon or have a demon infesting him. He's definitely not a demon now, I see that, but he might have a demon inside him controlling his thoughts, or like chaos worship stuff. Since you are here, show me how the Thasserians entertain their nobles. Sing me your favorite song. Sorry. What song is that? The story of humanity's deliverance from darkness. It is sung once in Moonlife as a reminder of the great deed of the God Emperor, who used the key to all destinies to lock the world away from wicked things. He walled himself up in the great tower of humankind along with all the people. He could have ascended to the stars, but he chose to stay for our sake. Though we are unworthy, we must remember this deed. That was wonderful, thank you. Thank you. For me, there is no greater than your praise. Dance, I guess? I'm not gonna ask her to clean my shoes. I hope this humble dance was worthy of your eyes. Teach me. Let's give it a try. The movements are simple. Watch you put this foot here and you stretch your arms out like this. Sorry. Excellent. Thank you. Let's continue our walk.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Oh, we got like actual medieval stuff going on. We got clerics and knights and jesters. The Chronicles of Fate. It befits any servant of his to thank daily the Emperor. 1 second, I can hear myself getting stuffy. I'll blow. Alright. It befits any servant of his to thank daily the Emperor, him that holdeth the key for the lot given them in life. As I have thanked him with my writings for thousands of moon lives, so too do I thank him now with the feathers that are preparing my soul for its new destiny. The rules of this service are simple. Day after day I reverently carry with me the glass fetters, not daring to break them. Some believe that merely keeping them by one's bedside is enough to perform the sacrament. That is a lie, perpetuated by the slothful and faint of heart.
Follow my lead.
Okay.
Keep a sharp eye.
What, where? What'd I see? Oh, there's a trap down there.
The Emperor favors me today.
Sound this way.
Something of interest.
I better myself through my service.
Hey, 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 hey.
Duty prevails.
An eagle. Key characteristic, claustrophobia. And an ebonite sword. Targets hit with the sword suffer a number of static charge stacks equal to damage dealt by the attack, which will be a lot. When a creature with those stacks is killed, all creatures adjacent to it except the wielder suffer shock damage equal to the number of static charge stacks. That'd be good on Abelard, I think. Because it's either do I want bleed, or basically I do like 20 damage a swing, and that means everything around me, even if I don't kill it with that swing, they die anyway. That seems actually pretty good. Where was it? Ebonite. No. Where's it at? I can't find it for some reason. One second, I'm trying to find it. Where'd it go? I picked it up, did I not? There it is. It does a little bit more damage. Has better armor penetration. Yeah. I think that's just better overall. Maybe, you know what? I have it on the offhand, because I don't really switch to offhand much for that. So maybe I do it for the extra thing to do, you know, like this is my clearing out people, like a group of people, and this is like single for bleed. I don't know, we'll see. Let me quickly see if there's anything else about the stack charge. Yeah, that's it. Okay. There's still something. Alright, and I'll give you your grenade, because I did toss a grenade earlier. Give you a fire palm. There you go.
A new challenge for me?
Kind of quiet. Another. Let these instructions enlighten all who walk in my footsteps. He that holdeth the key permits none but his most faithful to change their fates, and I, the eminent Gorgias Fault, have no right to fail him. Gregorius, not Gorgias. Gregorius Fault. This my present work will describe how a soul becomes purified and the rituals required to prepare it for its momentous turn of fate. These being things that any servant of his who intends to break the shackles of their former life will have to undergo.
It's about time.
Left or right?
Cast your eye there.
Glad I went left.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Sorry. I hate being sick. I rarely get sick, but when I do, it lasts a long time. Another excerpt? Yep, chapter 3. The sacrament has been performed. I felt the cage open its gates. I felt him that holdeth the key open the lock of my body. At first I found it hard to breathe. It was as though the inside of my body was lined with vice that was not my own. In my mind's confusion, I cannot tell what moon life it is or what chapter of the book I am presently writing, but the greatest one is all-knowing, and every turn of fate has been chosen by him in advance. Thus, if my new fate tries to resist me, I shall bring it to heel.
None shall stand. I won't tolerate weakness.
Sorry about that. What is this? Grace us with your regard. When my brother and I heard of your arrival, we immediately sought to surprise you with an exceptional gift. The ancient scrolls tell of a wonder, a mechanical sage by the name of Kajikor. It knows the answers to all questions, can make other machines do its bidding, and may even predict the future. My brother and I have borne many a hardship, but we managed to acquire this magic contraption for our much cherished guest. So you're telling me that this thing is that fortune teller robot thing that you put a quarter in and he's like, I, the great Balthazar, read your fortune. That is very, very obscure because then it's technically true, but it didn't really tell you anything. Sometimes when information reaches the more backwards world, it undergoes strange metamorphoses in the minds of unfortunate and regrettably parochial lay people. Have mercy, Lord Captain, they probably have been trying to please you. I'm registering an act of imitation of sanctity. This cultural phenomenon is typical of underdeveloped tribes. I also anticipate the discovery of cave pictograms dedicated to the divine arrival of the more advanced units. Listen to the sounds coming from the box. There's someone inside. Really? Then again, what else could you expect from this ignorant world? Unseal the box and let this poor soul out. Woohoo! What poor soul? I do not. As you command, my celestial lord, forgive us. We wished only to delight you by reproducing an otherworldly miracle we had read about in an ancient chronicle. You are nothing but a pair of dim-witted like spittles, but mere stupidity hardly warrants an execution. Get out of my sight. We did not mean to offend, we only wanted to please.
Victory awaits!
Yeah, let's lock a guy up in a box and say this is a Kajikor.
Operation successful. This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
The blacksmith has somehow managed to forge shells and casings. These do not belong on a feudal world, but there is no doubt as to what they are. Oh! That's cool. What's this? Bloody Sacrament. Area attacks with this maul create a smoke cloud. All creatures that enter the area must pass a toughness, strength, and willpower resistance test with a -37 penalty. On a failed toughness test, the target becomes blinded. On a failed strength test, they become slowed, and on a failed willpower test, they become disturbed. That's actually pretty crazy. I don't think anyone here would like
A
go
new
crazy
challenge
for that.
for me.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I rise to the occasion.
The horses glance at you with an odd curiosity. One of them pulls its muzzle closer and clacks its teeth almost too greedily and hungrily for a harmless herbivore. The enormous gaze locked fast. So what are these horses not fed wheat and grain? What are those? Those are cool. What the hell? That's awesome. Tiny lice are hopping around the gilded plate. The lady squishes the insects with a small golden hammer, only for more of them to drop from her coughed hair and into her food. Ew.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
You probably noticed this from my ramblings, but the thing I love the most is creatures in like any setting. So these are so cool. Lacerix.
Excellence matters.
Salivating profusely, the Lacerixes. Bro. I get it. Shut up. Thank you. Salivating profusely, the Lacerixes watch the food disappear into the people's throats. Judging by their protruding ribs, the beasts have not been properly fed in some time.
Experience.
Makes sense.
Nothing matters more.
Another chapter. I am impure and my body is impure. Vital fluids not my own are stirring within me as though wood-boring beetles were digging their filthy tunnels through my frame. I must destroy this vice. I must squeeze it out. It is customary to replace an old vessel, and I have replaced my round cage with chambers of gold. Yet I still feel filthy, for if the contents are spoilt, and not merely the shell, then what can be done to achieve redemption? My face is burning, a burrowed face, a weak face. I must take off the fetters of my skin and cleanse its inner side of vice. Take it away, O Emperor, take it away and give me a new cage.
None shall stand in my way.
Sure. Judging by the deep scratches, there used to be a makeshift bridge here. If you can put it in its place, you can try to cross the next roof. There's no doubt that this piece of iron is sturdy enough, but it is woefully short. The rusted sheet of iron could easily reach the other side of the roof, but is unlikely to hold a person's weight. Here you go. Despite the gaps, the metal lattice looks both sturdy and long
Nothing's
enough.
impossible for this old officer.
Never doubt me.
Suffering is part of the trial.
Assault armor. Whenever the wearer starts their turn with no enemies in a 3-cell radius, they gain +4 movement points and do not provoke attacks of opportunity. +10 armor if the wearer starts their turn with at least one enemy within a 3-cell range. Say I want people nearby. That'd be good on Solomorn, maybe. First off, did I get any better for you? Probably not. Yeah. Honestly, these can go to cargo. Yeah. Okay. And then, you have the best shield. That's a 30% chance. Yeah, it's better chance. I lose the parry chance, but that's about it. Or I gain a parry chance, actually. So it's better, actually. So I'll put that on. That's even better, I think. I lose a deflection, but yeah. So I'll put that on the other one. Anyway, an assault. Reactivate. It's the same thing. So do I want reactivate to bring back Solomorn, or do I want an armored, or do I want to be able to move around a lot? I don't know. Probably just stick
It's
with
about
that.
time.
So is that about it? Yeah.
Unexpected result.
Ooh. We got... You lose the 15 weapon skill and strength. So it's basically, do I want to apprehend or protect? I'm feeling like apprehend is
Follow
better.
my lead.
What? You notice a veritable mound of leftovers under the table. The guests have been tossing scraps onto the floor without thought. Pretty cool, actually. I love the flyover to see it.
Victory awaits.
Look at this statue. Is my celestial lord here to gaze upon my destiny? Alas, my creation is not complete. I am here to look at the sculpture. What has my destiny got to do with it? When I sculpt, I see people's destinies in the forms I create. The visions that come to me shape not only the stone, but the person's fate as well. Your image was indistinct when it appeared before me. My work is not yet done. What do you wish to behold? All I'm accomplishing in the present. Your destiny will soon be complete with, my lord. I will have it delivered to your celestial vessel. The glory so far, your very life's path has been carved into stone. One whose lives in the present has no reason to fear the future. But sooner or later, the future catches up with everyone. It increases the character's fellowship until the end of the mission on Thassera. Okay. Who are you? A humble creator, the governor's first sculptor, Tavrisk, who has the honor of shaping the destinies of others, but not his own. Okay. I'm gonna run out of time, but we'll leave it here, and then we'll pick up. We'll keep talking to the sculptor, and then make our way further into Thassera, and figure out what exactly is gonna happen. I feel like chaos might have already gotten here because the horses are acting weird, and the jester guy was acting weird, in my opinion. I mean, they always act weird like that, but more than usual. Anyway, we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a nice day. Peace.